Now, this chapter right here is probably the beginning of how Norn has become a lot of people's favorite character in the series. And I can understand why, as this is truly her starting point where she will grow and develop into a better character. And trust me, it only gets better from here. I mean, she grows, stays her own pace, she knows her strengths and weaknesses, and people at the end of the story will see her in a different light. I can guarantee you that. And that's the thing I like about this series, this story, is how it'll take a character, and most of the times these characters you see you will hate, you will not like. You'll have a very different opinion about them until as time goes on. As you continue reading the story, you'll understand more and more about these characters, and then you start to have a different outlook on them, a brand new insight. And because of that, it's the reason why I love this series, the matter of perspective. Here we see Norm's perspective. We follow Rudius, so we see he's not much of a bad guy when it comes to dealing with people. He's very modest. But this one situation changed everything for one person. Say you know someone and you like them, you know everyone else liked them, but one person doesn't like them because that person's first impression of them was very, very terrible. Very terrible. Not good at all. Because of that, that person sees that person you like and everyone else likes in a completely different light. And that's just how it is. So, growing up, Norn has no memory or knows her brother, just knows things that everyone around her house been saying, how amazing he is, how smart he is, how good he is. So she knew nothing about him. Then a teleportation incident happened. And when the teleportation incident happening, all she could rely on was her father. And in her eyes, her father, as we know his flaws, she didn't see many flaws with her father. She saw a hero, a dude going out his way, helping people who are in need, who are in desperate times, needing a hand, getting that hand from her father. So she saw the father as the true hero. So imagine being a little girl, never knew your brother is. You walk in and you see this dude that you looked up to your entire life, your father, is getting wailed on by this other guy, beat up brutally. So you're seeing blood, you're seeing anger, you're scared. You can't really think like what's going on, what's happening, why they're doing this to my dad. So she comes in and defends her father, and that's reasonable. So she is the only impression she ever has of Rudius. Think about it. She only really met Rudius really for like no more than a day. No more than a day. And after that, they patched things up the next day, but then they left. And that was it. That's the only impression you have of your brother. Even though everyone was saying, they patched things up, they let it go, they had their circumstances, a misunderstanding, but that's all you got to go from. How can you really listen to what everyone else is saying and what you saw was completely different? It makes sense, doesn't it? So now you're off. You get to see the second wife and your twin sister in a way. It's amazing how they're technically twin sisters, but they're born from different mothers. It's amazing. But anyways, I guess stuff like that happens every blue moon. So anyways, they go start living with Zenith's mother, her grandmother. And grandmother is very, very strict. And here she is getting nothing. And they go in full detail where in a way she would sometimes pick on Aisha in a way. It was like a stress relief. And Aisha herself felt completely insignificant. She felt truly self-conscious in a way, no true self-esteem around this place, because she was seeing nothing as a servant, a tool. Even though she was in a way blood with Norn, it didn't matter. So, and the grandmother treated Aisha very, very terribly. And so Aisha went through her own hell. She gained her own inferiority complex. So when they went to school, Aisha excelled in everything. She said, I want to show this girl up, to show I am better than her, I am better than the real deal. You see, Aisha doesn't see herself as the real deal, even though they're blood related. They're not by mutual pact or bond like Paul and Xenophar. Lulia is like a second wife in a way, or some would say a mistress and stuff. So Aisha sees herself as a bastard in a way, a bastard. So she did everything she can to show up. So once again, Norn is in hell. Now, they found Zenith. They're on the way towards the dungeon where she's at. Well, Labyrinth, anyways, I mean to say. So they have to go live with guess who? Rudius. Going to live with Rudius. And now she's like, oh man, I'm going to one bad place or to another. Jesus. So in her mind, she feels like if she speaks out of line or she's selfish, she believes that she'll get hit. So she's on her guard. And she's in strong faith in Millis. Millis is you can only be with one partner through your entire life, no matter what. So last time she saw Rudius, he was with Eris. But instead, he is with Selphie. He is married to Selphie. So already, this is another strike. And also, what happened during the time they didn't tell was with Aisha and how when he went on the traveling trip with Ginger, by the way, yes, I completely didn't mention Ginger. Aisha took control. She took control and just started doing whatever she wanted in a way to see brother. Because while one person saw this place as hell, one person saw it as heaven. And remember, Aisha has a very positive view on Rudius as someone who's very smart and amazing. Because Aisha herself is very smart. So to see someone who's just as smart or even more smart than her, she found it fascinating. This is a brother I don't mind serving, she said to herself. So she did anything she could to get there fast as possible. Just took control of everything. And you had Richard and Ginger there who were supposed to guard them and lead them, but instead it was the other way around. So showing the genius that is Aisha, why she's one of my favorite characters in the series. So they get there, and back on to point, she doesn't feel like she has no allies in that house. She has Aisha, who's always competing with her, always looking down on her. You have Rudius, you already know how she feels about Rudius, and of course, she is uneasy about Selphie. She has no memories of Selphie, despite they were with each other for a while. So she prays to go to the dorm. She goes to the dorm, and she tries to call anything that she sees Rudius doing as wrong and stuff. Even to point, he always say he'll pay for her intuition to get into the academy, which he saw was wrong, bribery and stuff. She gets in, she's like, finally, no one can compare me to Aisha. I am here on my own. I am free to be me and stuff. And she's okay with that. But however, Rudius goes to that school. Since Rudius goes to that school, she is compared to Rudius. She's heard bad but yet good things about Rudius. Rudius does some mischief stuff, but for a good reason. So she kept hearing so much about Rudius all the time, and she couldn't escape it. So because of that, she balled herself up in her room. She just can't do it no more. She can't. She thought she could get away. But no matter what she does, she can't get away. There's no escape. She's not happy. Very, very sad. Sad girl. And now she doesn't know what to do. So then you hear the door open. You see the person that you're afraid of the most. And when you see that person, you expect him to do something that you only know about him, your only viewpoint about him. But instead, he sits there. He apologizes. He says, it must have been hard for you. Sorry I didn't try to see things your way, see things how you see them. He's sitting there quietly, being patient, waiting, just like in Rudy's past life, where someone was there for him, but he ignored them, despite how long his friend tried to stay there for him. Even his brother did the same thing, but he always ignored them. So, seeing this situation, Rudy says he's going to stay here no matter what. But Norm proved to be a better person in this world. She proved it by opening up to him, by saying sorry, and they hugged it out. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing, you know? Rudy is able to be an amazing person because he has a second life. He has memories of his past life. He's trying to do better. So he has a head start in this world. Lauren doesn't have a head start. This is her first rodeo, and she did something that old Rudius could not do, and that is open up to the person who's trying to be there for you, not swallow in your self pity for too long. To open up. That's what she did. Because the way she saw herself as constantly being bullied for years. Rudius went through the same thing. He immediately shut himself out. Norn was going through the same thing, but she was able to open up to her brother. Something that Rudius failed to do in his first life. Making Norn, in my opinion, a better person, in a way. And she has proven that by doing this with her brother. And now, it's only going to get better. She's going to be a better person. She will see herself work hard, not to prove herself to anybody, but just to do her best. That's all she wants. Find her own role models and see what she can do for people and herself. So that's the reason why I believe why a lot of people see Nora as one of their favorite characters in the series. She is very good. She is nothing special. She is normal compared to everyone else around her who are amazing. Fire alarm. So anyways, I think that's the time for me to clock out. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, of course, hit that bell icon. This has been Macron on Anime. Signing out.